What's up, everyone? I'm Thanos, and today with me is Sam Poots, one of the authors of the Monarchs of Camelot stories. Hello, Sam.
Hi, thanks very
How are
much
you?
for talking to me.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. Wee bit tired, but aren't we all?
Okay. So, tell us a few things about yourself.
Uh, well, where to begin? I suppose with the tabletop gaming, I've been working in some capacity in tabletop gaming for about 10 years now. I started off as a journalist and reviewer at Beast of War, now on tabletop. And a few years ago, I started doing freelance work for tabletop RPGs. Started with a guest scene I was invited to supply for Jim Henson's Labyrinth, the adventure game by Riverhorse Games, which, since I'm a huge Jim Henson fan, made my little geek heart swell 3 times that day. I've gone on to write for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, upcoming stuff for Imperium Maledictum, a bunch of Cubicle 7's D20 lines, and now Monarchs of Camelot, which, as I grew up reading a lot of Arthurian fiction, I'm very excited to be doing.
So, what can you tell us about the challenges of writing a story for Monarchs of Camelot?
Well, I have to say this has been one of the most interesting and challenging things I've ever had to write, because it's like from the writing perspective, it's best to approach it like a choose-your-own-adventure game, but with far more limited words, and instead of focusing on one character, these are decisions that could potentially be taken by everybody involved. You have to keep that competitive element in mind, that what I'm writing is not everything that will be happening. It's not the story that the players will be telling. What I'm basically laying out is the plot beats, and the story that they're creating together will be happening around all that and above all that.
And do you have to do some research in order to get the facts, the historical facts, and to build your own story?
Yes, and I was going to say yes and no, but it's more yes and yes. Because one of the really freeing things about Arthurian legend is it is a complete mishmash of historical time periods and storytelling traditions. It is something that, storytellers have been adding their own spins to over generations. So you've got them all wearing medieval courtly garb and yet talking about the emperor in Rome. And so you have to... I did some research into the fall of Rome and that period that Arthur is supposed to be taking part in.
You're also the writer of the campaign expansion, is that right?
Yeah.
Can you please tell us a few things, but not spoil too much?
Well, I don't want to spoil too much about the specific plot, but I'm drawing on a lot of different references for this one, a lot of different influences. Game of Thrones may be the big one, in that I wanted to really make you feel like your potential kings and rulers of Camelot. So there's a big oncoming catastrophe, and you have to make decisions on how best to face that. It's so difficult to walk that line of knowing what you can say and what you want to keep hidden.
I know. Will this campaign have branches? For example, the decisions or the outcomes of the events will affect the whole story?
Exactly, yeah. One of the things we were very keen on for this was that as you go through, the story you shape can be very different each time you come back to it. So we wanted this campaign to have a bit of replayability to it.
Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you.